In 2 Corinthians 3, the overwhelming blessing that we see repeated 11 times is the word glory. What is it about this fascinating blessing, the glory of God? We know that in the Old Testament, the glory of God was something that people feared. The glory of God would appear as a cloud, and then God Himself was in that cloud. And we know that when the high priest would go into the Holy of Holies room, it was shielded with a curtain, and he could only go behind that curtain once a year. And he had to take burning incense. And the reason is because the burning incense kind of created a smoke, a cloud of its own, just a very dense smoke. And that would kind of shield the priest from being able to see into the glory. So the priests were very encouraged to not look at the glory. We know that Moses had more experience with the glory than any other character in the Old Testament, even though his experiences were somewhat limited. But we do remember the time he was invited to come to the cloud of glory on top of Mount Sinai. He spent 40 days there. And at the end of 40 days, when he came down from the mountain, he was so saturated with the glory of God that his face was shining. And the people were so scared. They said, Moses, we can't look at that. So he would cover his face with a veil, um, so that the people wouldn't have to see the glory of God. So in the Old Testament, the glory was obviously the presence of God, but it was something that the people feared. In the New Testament, everything changed. It flipped. When Jesus died, the veil in the Holy of Holies room was torn from top to bottom, which invites us to come into the presence of the Lord, to come into the presence where the glory was. And not only just to come into the presence, but to behold the glory. Verse 18 tells us that as we behold, in other words, as we look and look and keep looking into the glory, that we are transformed into the likeness of Jesus Christ. So the glory of God is an incredible, fascinating blessing. What's your experience with the glory? I'd love to hear about it. Today's thought was from day 10 of 30 Days of Blessings. I'm Andrea Carroll. Thanks for listening.